Hi, my name is Lorie Craddock and I'm the current president of the Board of Trustees. I'm here today to talk a little bit about the pledge drive. Now let me say, over the course of this pledge drive, which is about 4 weeks, you will hear from a lot of well-spoken people who are smarter and better looking than me. And they are going to talk about the amazing things that this church does. Our ministry and our outreach, social justice programs, faith development opportunities. This church community celebrates with us in good times and stands by us when we suffer. And no matter how this pledge drive goes, these things will remain true. UUCville is a wonderful, caring, compassionate home and always will be. But today I'm here to speak to you as the board president. And to my way of thinking, it is the board's job to manage the business of the church, to look out for our best interests as an organization, and to make fiscally responsible decisions. To that end, I want to talk about the church's finances, how we got where we are today, and what we need to do to move forward. Let's go back to July 2019 and the beginning of the church fiscal year. I had just started in this position, and Stan Walker had just become our treasurer. We had not passed the 2019-2020 budget, and we were projected to close out the year with a $24,000 deficit from the 2018-19 budget. By August, our projected deficit was $43,000. If you want a more detailed information about this time period, there's a super helpful video for which Stan and I are famous, and you can find a link to this video on the church's website. But in September 2019, a miracle happened, or panic set in, it's hard to say which, and the church received nearly $40,000 in unpledged donations, an increase in pledged donations of $25,000, and a no-interest $40,000 loan from an anonymous donor. So with all that in mind, in October of 2019, with that increased revenue, we passed a balanced budget for the 2019-2020 year with expenses at about $48,000 a month. And that includes salary and benefits for our staff, utilities, and supplies. And again, if anyone wants to know anything more about the budget, they're all available on the website, or you can just look back at the meeting minutes from the church board meetings. November, December, January passed. Now we're in January 2020, and we start to hear something about a virus in China. February 2020, and the pledge drive begins. March of 2020, the pledge drive church closes and worship services go online. The pledge drive ends and we're $81,000 short of our goal. April 2020, pledges continue to come in, but we're now $40,000 short. And in the meantime, income from other sources, such as rentals and fundraisers, are clearly going to be much lower, leaving us even further behind. May of 2020, the church receives a Paycheck Protection Plan loan, a PPP loan of $83,000. And although pledges are still $30,000 short of our goal, and income is greatly reduced for the next year, the loan very nearly balances the budget. In June, we're trying to hold it together with the pandemic, and in July, the new fiscal year starts. In August 2020, our new interim minister, Linda Olson-Peebles, starts work. Our Director of Administration and Finance, Sean Scally, goes to full-time. And the Finance Committee is able to create a balanced budget thanks to 2 members of our staff agreeing to take a reduction in benefits that were in their contracts. So in September of 2020, we have an online congregational meeting and we pass a balanced budget. October, November, December, January, February. Here we are today. 5 months have passed with still no appreciable rental income or fundraising. And here we are in February again, starting a new pledge drive. So let's start with the good news from a financial standpoint. 1, Sean has done an amazing job managing the books and keeping expenses down. 2, the building is in great shape thanks to the Glenn Short Trust Committee. We don't need to worry about the boiler exploding or the roof caving in or anything else that was hanging over our heads just a couple years ago. 3, while fundraisers and rental income has been down, members have continued to honor their pledge commitments from last year. We continue to donate money on Sunday to both Social Action Collection and the Church Collection Plate, and our endowment is now being professionally managed with accurate record keeping, and the endowment is valued at $500,000. 4, we will get out of this lockdown at some point, and we'll start to see that income from rentals and fundraisers again. But here are our challenges. Building expenses are fixed, whether we are physically in the buildings or not. So gas, water, electric, sewer, all need to be paid. We can't lower those expenses. 2, Linda Olson-Peebles' salary only covers 11 months in the fiscal year that we're currently in. In 2021-22, it will cover 12 months, so another month of salary. 3, professional expenses for the entire staff have been cut over several preceding years and should be restored. This budget brings all staff up to 85% of the recommended salary of the UUA guidelines. Right now, some staff is paid less than 85%, and some of the staff is just at 85%. Obviously, fundraising isn't back, nor are rentals. So, for example, in 2019, our fundraising revenue was about $19,000. Last year, it was just $6,000. And many of you have asked about a second PPP loan, and that is a possibility, but there's no guarantee that we'll get that loan. The Board of Trustees and the minister are committed to avoiding a deficit budget, but we are facing a formidable challenge to increase our pledges significantly, ideally by 30%. We have a few members who can give over $5,000, but most members are giving well below the level that we need to stay out of deficit budgeting. Let's take a look at this pie chart graphic. The pie chart takes the total revenue from the last pledge drive, $385,000, and divides it into 10 equal slices, or $38,500 each slice. Let's take a look at this first slice. There are 84 families giving between $10 and $900. That's an average of $452 per family, or less than $20 a week. Our current revenue stream instead counts on 20 families giving more than $5,000 a year, or about $100 a week. Our church needs an average pledge of $2,200 per family every year to maintain current levels of staffing and programming. That translates into a $500 annual pledge for those who are currently not pledging, or a $500 increase for the 84 families in that first slice of pie. And if you are pledging in the $1,000 to $3,000 pledge range, an increase of 30% to your annual pledge will keep our staffing and programming at current levels. Let me say this again so there's no confusion about what needs to happen if we want to maintain the current staff and programming at our church. For those members not pledging or pledging between $10 and $900, please increase your pledge by $500. For those members pledging between $900 and $3,000, please increase your pledge by at least 30%. The pledge drive is going to end on March 27th, and the Finance Committee will prepare a budget based on the pledges we have at that point. We cannot continue the pledge drive for weeks and months beyond March 27th. The staff needs to know if their positions are going to be funded, and the volunteers managing the pledge drive deserve a firm end date to their work. We will soon mark a year of living with this pandemic, yet our church has been able to hold a live service every Sunday beginning the very first week of the shutdown. Now we hold 2 services with a robust turnout and welcome people from all over the country. Our thriving, active community has been helping people handle challenges of the coronavirus lockdowns, and people have been paying their pledges and giving to those in need on Social Action Sundays. We are a very active, lively congregation, and our thriving church is making a difference in people's lives. This is an amazing church and an amazing faith community, and I have faith we will come together to make this pledge drive a success.